Have you ever felt like you're pushing yourself against an invisible wall no matter how hard you try? It's as if life has handed you one challenge after another, and no matter how much you strive, things just don't seem to align. It can be exhausting and frustrating, feeling like you're constantly in a battle you can't win. But what if I told you the secret to overcoming these struggles doesn't lie in trying harder, but in shifting your perspective and understanding what's truly within your control? Imagine for a moment having the clarity to face any situation with calm and confidence, not because you control every outcome, but because you've learned what can be controlled and what must be accepted. That's where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in, offering us the tools to live a life full of peace, purpose, and resilience. Stoicism isn't just an abstract philosophy, it's a practical approach to life. It's the ultimate toolkit for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs with clarity and calm. Imagine facing every challenge, not with fear or resistance, but with a sense of inner peace and strength. You can do this by embracing the core Stoic principle, understanding the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. By focusing on the former, we can create a life that's not only fulfilling, but also resilient to life's most difficult moments. No matter what you're dealing with today, Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to cultivate inner peace, strength, and freedom, even in the midst of uncertainty. Today, we're diving deep into the principles of Stoicism, exploring how they can transform your life. From the profound wisdom of ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus to modern psychological insights, we'll break down how you can apply these principles in your everyday life. Whether you feel overwhelmed by the constant demands of the world, or you're just looking for more serenity and purpose, this video is here to guide you. But before we dive in, if you're eager to unlock these life-changing Stoic insights and join our community of thinkers, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Stick with us through every part of this video, because each moment is packed with timeless wisdom that will help you navigate life with grace and strength. Now let's begin our journey into the transformative world of Stoicism. The dichotomy of control is one of the most fundamental principles in Stoicism. At the heart of this idea is the realization that not everything in life is within our power to change. Some things, like the weather, the actions of others, and the world around us, are completely beyond our control. But here's the liberating truth. Our reactions to these events are always within our control. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, famously said, "We are disturbed not by events, but by our views about them." This principle is revolutionary because it places the power back into our hands. Let's say you're stuck in traffic. You can't change the fact that the traffic is there, no matter how frustrated you get. But what can you control? Your response. You can choose to get upset, or you can use that time to listen to an audiobook, meditate, or simply reflect. By shifting your focus from the external event to your internal response, you reclaim your peace and turn frustration into an opportunity for growth. This Stoic wisdom doesn't just stop with Epictetus. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Accept what you can't change, and focus on what you can." This simple yet profound advice is a game changer. When we stop wasting energy trying to control things beyond our reach, we begin to conserve that energy for what truly matters. We begin to focus on our thoughts, our actions, and the things we can influence. In this way, we live more purposefully and with less stress. But the dichotomy of control is not just a Stoic idea. It echoes across various traditions. Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, spoke about the golden mean, which is the balance between excess and deficiency. He believed that virtue lies in finding the balance between extremes, like courage lying between recklessness and cowardice. This wisdom reinforces the idea of control. We should aim for balance and moderation in our actions, knowing when to take action and when to accept that further action is futile. Psychologically, this principle is echoed by Carl Jung, who spoke of individuation, the process of becoming your true self. Part of this process involves recognizing what is within our power to change and accepting what isn't. Jung also said, We cannot change anything unless we accept it. By embracing this acceptance, we are free to direct our energy towards the things we can change, without wasting time or emotional energy on things beyond our control. When we truly understand and apply the dichotomy of control, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to practice patience, resilience, and grace. This shift in mindset transforms how we experience the world, allowing us to find peace even in the most difficult situations. The second key principle in Stoicism is learning to let go of attachments. This involves recognizing how much of our emotional turmoil comes from clinging to things that are fleeting and unstable, whether it's people, possessions, or power. Epictetus famously said, "We are disturbed not by the things themselves, but by our attachments to them." This insight is incredibly freeing because it shows us that our suffering is often self-inflicted by our attachments. When we release our need for external validation, we free ourselves from the chains of constant longing and disappointment. Marcus Aurelius practiced this principle by constantly reminding himself to be indifferent to what makes no difference. He understood that the pursuit of external validation, material possessions, and power only leads to stress and dissatisfaction. True peace comes from within, not from the external world. Similarly, Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wrote about the fleeting nature of life and the folly of relying on fortune for happiness. By clinging to possessions or relationships as a source of fulfillment, we make ourselves slaves to things outside our control. This principle has deep roots in other ancient philosophies as well. Aristotle taught that true happiness comes from virtuous activity and the fulfillment of our potential, not from accumulating material wealth or gaining social approval. Plato, too, spoke of the importance of focusing on the unchanging truths of life, rather than chasing after the fleeting shadows of the material world. He believed that true insight and fulfillment come from seeking knowledge and understanding, not from clinging to superficial desires. Modern psychology also supports this concept. Carl Jung, in his exploration of the human psyche, spoke of the shadow, those parts of ourselves that we deny or repress. These repressed aspects often manifest in our attachments to things outside ourselves. By recognizing and integrating these parts of ourselves, we can achieve greater wholeness and reduce our dependence on external validation. True freedom, Jung suggests, comes from embracing all parts of ourselves and accepting the impermanence of the world around us. In practical terms, this means learning to appreciate the world around us without becoming overly attached to it. It's about finding joy in people, experiences, and possessions without relying on them for our sense of self-worth. By accepting the transient nature of everything, we can engage fully in life without fear of loss. This paradoxical freedom is one of the greatest gifts Stoicism offers, the freedom to enjoy life to the fullest, knowing that nothing is permanent. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is learning to stop clinging to the opinions of others. In a world that is obsessed with social media likes, peer approval, and public image, it's easy to get caught up in the need for external validation. But Stoicism teaches us that true peace and self-respect come from within, not from the ever-changing views of others. Epictetus, with his straightforward wisdom, reminds us that we suffer not because of external events but because of our judgments about those events. When we base our self-worth on other people's opinions, we allow them to dictate our inner state. This can lead to a constant cycle of anxiety and disappointment. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to focus on our actions and our responses. These are within our control, and they are the foundation of our peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius, who faced public scrutiny and criticism as a Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "The opinion of others is nothing more than noise. It doesn't determine who I am." For him, true tranquility was found in adhering to his own reason and judgments, living in alignment with virtue, and ignoring the praise or condemnation of others. Seneca, too, emphasized this point. He believed that true freedom comes from being independent of the whims and judgments of the crowd. When we stop allowing others' opinions to control our lives, we regain our sense of agency and self-respect. In today's world, this principle is more relevant than ever. With the rise of social media and constant public scrutiny, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from others. But the Stoic wisdom tells us that this is a futile pursuit. True peace comes from within, from living a life aligned with our values and acting according to our own reasoning. If you've found these Stoic principles enlightening and valuable, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We are just getting started and there's so much more wisdom to explore together. By applying these principles in our lives, we can transform our experience of the world, navigating its challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience. Join us on this journey to become the best versions of ourselves. Thank you for being part of this journey, and remember, peace, happiness, and true freedom are not found in external circumstances. They are found in how we choose to respond to them. Let's continue this journey together,